Hi, I'm Sarah from Quayle Cottage.
And I'm Katie from Grown by Lightning Hollows. They're two flower farmers here in Australia, and together we're your bloommates. Following on from last episode, now this is my chance to interview Sarah, which is very exciting. I feel like that total, yes, I get to sit back and ask the questions.
I loved the last episode getting to interview you. Yeah.
So let's start with some background. Tell us about your growing space and how you got into being a flower farmer.
Yeah. Well, Katie and I are in the same area. She's 10 minutes down the road from me. We're near Maitland in the Hunter Valley, near Newcastle. If you want to hear a bit more about our climate, you can go and listen to the episode where I interviewed Katie. But I'm on a suburban block, so I'm an urban farm. It's less than a quarter of an acre. It's actually a lot less than a quarter of an acre. Actual block is 700 square metres, but we also grow on our neighbour's property as well. She's in her 90s. Her name's Phyllis. I should talk about Phyllis a bit, actually, because she might come up a bit throughout the whole podcast, actually. She used to be a flower farmer, 92, cool. And she was a specialty rose grower, and her property backs onto ours. She's on half an acre, and she's still got some roses left on her property, but not many. And the section of her land behind ours it was a market garden at one point, and she also had dairy cows, and Phil loves soil health, which I feel is unusual for old school growers. Yeah. But she's always loved soil health. She had worm farms, which she gave us one when we moved in. And she's built the soil up amazingly. Yeah. By the time we moved in, that bit of land behind us was just grass, basically. She had 2 little plots, maybe 3 by 9 metres, both of them, that had some perennials and veggies in them, but the rest was just grass. And that section behind us is 400 square metres. And, yeah, she let us put a gate in. We help her out with her mowing and, stuff that you do for your elderly neighbours.
Yeah.
And she lets us use her space for growing and also for our chickens. So we've got a chicken coop at the back of our property, and we've almost put a little doggy door in.
Yeah, it's very cute.
So they can go through to a section we've fenced off over at Phil's. And then we've also put in a new plot of ours. Phil lets us grow in her 2 existing plots that were there, but it is quite tricky because she's got so many perennials in them, and the weed pressure is crazy because, as she got older, she couldn't stay on top of gardening as much, so the weed seed bank is intense, stinging nettle and all sorts of things. So much chickweed. So we started a new plot, and it is 5 10-metre rows over there. And, so the total sort of space that we grow on, not including our house and our driveway and the little bit of grass left for our dog, is around 300 square metres total, I worked out. And bed length I calculated as well, and that was 160 metres total, which isn't that much. It's basically the equivalent of 5 commercial beds. Commercial farmers usually do 30-metre beds.
Yeah.
So it's
very impressive what you get out of your space.
It's taken some time to work out the best crops that are worthwhile growing on an urban space.
Yeah, totally. Should we let's talk about that? What sort of crops, I guess, how have your crops evolved as you've worked out how to grow?
They have evolved a lot. Yeah. As I discovered new and unusual crops, I feel like a lot of the lesser known crops you can plant a lot closer together, the varieties that I grow.
Yeah, maybe because they're lots of them are things that it's like hard to get good stem length on them, and so that's why they're unusual. And a way to get stem length is by putting them close together.
I suppose, yeah. Like phlox and pansies are two that I plant 5 centimetres apart.
Yeah.
Actually, and corncockle I plant 5 centimetres apart. It doesn't have an issue with stem length, but the plants aren't like big branching plants.
Yeah.
They're quite petite plants. They get quite tall, but not very wide.
Not wide.
So, yeah, a lot of my main crops I can plant really close together.
Which I suppose you're calculating, like if your limiting factor is space, it's how many stems you can get out of space.
Exactly.
Is more important than how many stems of a particular plant.
Yeah. And I love that sort of data. So I've actually got a spreadsheet that calculates that for me.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Stems per square metre. And that's
what wins that? What's your winner?
Corncockle.
Yeah, nice.
But I always grow my corncockle with a border on either side of it. Picture 3 rows of corncockle in one bed, and then on the outside, on both sides, I grow either phlox or pansies.
Yeah.
So I do a lot of intercropping to make, use of what space I have. From say like a 5 metre bed, I can fit over 1,000, no, not over 1,000 plants. I can get it over 1,000 stems from a 5 metre bed of just corncockle. That's not even considering the phlox.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And it's a profitable crop too.
Yeah.
So I try to focus on high yielding and high value crops to make it worthwhile me growing on a small space.
Yeah.
And summer's a little bit trickier because a lot of the unusual crops are spring.
Yeah.
I suppose this season I'm trying salpiglossis and cutflower petunias as well.
Oh, yeah, nice.
So they might add a little bit more, like a more high value summer crop. Obviously, dahlias are high value, but they're not necessarily profitable for everyone.
Yeah.
They're not profitable for me comparatively to other things that I grow.
Yeah.
So while they may be like a higher dollar value than other summer flowers, they don't make a lot of sense for me. So summer's actually where I struggle with my niche crops and my main crops. I feel like I've got main crops in spring and autumn.
Yeah.
But summer, it's just zinnias, really.
But maybe also, I mean, I don't know your plan, but maybe also cosmos, which is obviously not unusual, but it's hard to ship.
True.
So you've got that local pool of local cosmos, which then, I guess you have that in other things. You go like lace, which again is not unusual, but it's beneficial to have it locally rather than from markets.
Yeah, I don't just grow unusual things. I grow some of the tried and tested stuff. Basically, if it's high yielding and I can plant it close together. I plant everything too close together as long as they're not perennials. I'm pretty good at giving my perennials enough space, but I do interplant them as well, so maybe not so much.
I give them heaps of space
when I initially plant them, and then I fill the rest of the bed with pansies.
No, but I mean it's working. Like, your pansies are amazing. I feel like actually there's so much stuff. When I see your garden, I'm like, oh, I want to grow that, but I don't necessarily do it as well as you do.
We do things differently. You grow like the tried and true stuff so well, and like I didn't have any cosmos last year, or the year before I had barely any. You always have a good cosmos crop,
and I feel like because we have such different focuses. Like I absolutely love your phlox. When I see it, I'm like, oh, that's amazing. But when I've grown phlox in the past, I'd never picked it because it wasn't impactful enough. Like I didn't spend the time to like go. And
it is a lot of effort.
Yeah. Exactly.
To strip phlox, you've got to be like, it's not super delicate, but you can't just like quickly run your hand down it like a zinnia or sunflower.
Yeah.
You've kind of got to almost individually pick leaves off a little bit. And they're a lot lower to the ground. You've got to bend right over to cut them. No, I get that.
You do those things very well. I feel like you have found such a good niche and you do them well.
Thank you.
okay. So who are you selling these flowers to?
Oh, yeah. Good point. I pretty much exclusively sell to florists now.
Yeah.
For maybe 3 months at the start of my flower selling journey, I sold retail bunches just on Instagram and Marketplace. And then a florist messaged me because she saw I was growing phlox. And at that point, I don't think any farmers at the Sydney flower markets were growing it. And she was really excited to try it. So I loved selling to her. I love how excited florists get about the flowers and the fact that they know about the flowers.
Yeah.
Selling to the general public, they always get excited about them, but they can't really talk to you about them because they don't.
Yes.
They're not in this world.
I love when I have someone call and be like, "Can I have a bouquet? Oh, what flowers do you have at the moment?" At the moment, and I rattle off a bunch of flowers, and they're like, "I don't know what any of them are." And I'm like, no. Just trust the process.
Absolutely. Yeah. Talking to a florist about flowers is like, I love it. It's one of my favourite things. And growing unusual things means that florists are even more excited about my flowers, and it gives them a point of difference a lot of the time as well, which excites them further.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the cherry on top, like adding some chocolate cosmos to a bridal bouquet.
Totally.
Yeah.
Or like Nigella pods.
Yes.
Just a tiny amount of pods made that bouquet. Like those little things can make such a big difference.
Yeah.
And set them apart as well. People will see that work. Yeah, it's very cool.
Yeah. So I sell exclusively to florists.
Is that how you saw your business growing? Like at the start, did you have a picture in mind of what it was going to look like?
Well, I actually didn't want a business. I'd had a small business before, actually, that I was very young when I started it, and it grew. I'm not even going to say what it was, but it grew way too quickly, and I couldn't keep up. And anyway, it didn't go very well.
It didn't leave you excited to start another.
No, I said I would never have a business again. And I come from a really entrepreneurial family, so it's just like, I feel like it's in my blood. Everything I do, I just am like, how can I make this a business? And my whole family's like that. My dad is a business owner. I work for my dad. My mum owned a business through my childhood. My brother owns a business now. And even I've got little brothers from my dad's second marriage, and they even have like little businesses selling eggs and making relish from the tomatoes that they grow and stuff. So it's, entrepreneurship is in my blood. So there was no escaping it. And I actually remember saying to a friend that asked me if I was going to start selling my flowers, I was like, no, this is just a hobby. It's just for me. I don't want to make this another one of my businesses, because I'm also not very good at sticking to things.
Yeah.
But flowers, so Katie and I talk about this a lot, because Katie's similar to me in that our attention gets dragged to new places quite easily. Flowers and growing flowers and floristry as well.
Yeah.
There's something different all the time that it holds your attention, because you're not doing the same thing for long. The seasons change so quickly.
Yeah.
I mean, in the middle of summer it doesn't feel like that, but they do. And there's new flowers all the time. You're doing new jobs all the time. Like what we're doing right now on the farm is so different to what we're going to be doing even in like 6 weeks' time.
Totally, yeah. That's so true. There's either always a new flower that's coming or a new seed to be planted. Like there's always, and you're kind of working in that like ahead of time. Like,
And there's also always new breeding happening. So there's more varieties to get excited about. With flower farming and just the world of flowers in general, the feeling of anticipation is just always there. Yes. No matter what season, you're always feeling excited and anticipating the next thing. So, I should have given myself more credit. And I've been growing for 5 years now, and I haven't lost interest yet, and I do not think I ever will. So I didn't think I was going to have a flower-related business at all. But, it happened naturally with someone messaging me wanting to buy flowers, and I loved the creative side of it. So I guess, yeah, I'm kind of surprised by the direction it took because I liked the arranging side, but now I get so much satisfaction from planning, like crop planning, and also the restriction of my size. Sort of makes me think a lot more critically than maybe I would if my farm was bigger, which like feeds that creativity, I feel, because I have to be creative with my space, very much. And yeah, I love selling to florists, so I don't care that I don't get to do the designing. I do that sometimes, like I do a little bit of, I'll make an arrangement just for fun for myself, but it doesn't feed me in the same way that the growing and planning does, which is different to how I saw it going.
It's funny because I feel like I, went through stages early on of being like, do I just want to give the flowers away? Like, it wasn't about money to me, but selling felt so much a part of it, of the part of the challenge, part of the reward. What am I trying to say? The feedback of that you're doing well.
Yes.
Is the selling, it was also wrapped up in it.
That someone is excited enough about your product, something that you've grown, to pay for it.
Yeah, it is. It's funny. What is your biggest challenge in flower farming?
Space.
Yeah.
And time. Working full time, I don't think I would ever just work on the farm. Even if Sam and I bought a huge property, Sam's my partner and he's super involved in the business, both the growing and the business side. Not really the business side, actually, more like the customer facing side, like deliveries, and all my florists love Sam. But yeah, the growing side, definitely. And even if we bought a big property, which we both have dreams of doing one day, it feels too risky to ever work completely in farming. So yeah, I think I will always work off farm, even just part-time eventually. And yeah, I work for my dad, like I said, and I'm very invested in the business. Yeah. And even though I resent it some days, I'm so glad to have the job security. Yes. Even though I might want to be at home in the garden.
I feel like that as well. I sometimes think about, how much would I need to grow to be able to not work off farm? But at the same time, I love my job. And so I can't ever picture giving it up completely. I hope.
And sometimes I want a break. Sometimes I'm tired of farming. Or sometimes I'm sunburned and I just want to be inside.
Or your back is sore from weeding.
Yes. Yeah, and I'd like to just sit at a desk, please. Yes. Yeah.
So time would be your main challenge then, other than space?
Yeah, for sure. I do most of my farming on the weekends, but then I also get out with a head torch after work. Actually, my father-in-law, he wired up a heap of lights around our garden just to make harvesting a bit more pleasant, because you end up with a mouthful of bugs if you're wearing a headlamp. Yeah, that's sort of how I manage the time a little bit.
At work during the week, harvesting when you get home, and then farming on the weekends.
Yeah, that's it.
A full week. What's your favourite farming job?
Harvesting.
Yeah.
We talked a bit about that in Katie's episode.
Same answer. Same.
Similar, same answer, but also I love the planning. Yes. I love crop planning.
We're going to talk a bit at another episode about Sarah's crop planning, because it is very impressive. We crop plan very differently, and we both, I'd say, enjoy the process, but Sarah's is next level.
That's because I am working with such a small space that it kind of has to be next level if I want it to be efficient and worthwhile.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. But I love the planning side of things. And I also love direct sowing. Yeah. And then I love watching the little seeds pop up where they're going to be planted and knowing that I don't need to transplant them.
I love the idea of direct sowing, but they never pop up for me.
Yeah, you deal with a lot more dryness. You don't have as much irrigation set up.
I don't. I'm just not very reliable as well. And
you're so exposed. Yeah. Whereas this is one of the benefits of growing in suburbia, is that I've got a lot of houses around me as wind blocks and fences, and you don't. You've got a lot of wind, so evaporation.
And I'm just not that great being reliable of going out and watering things.
Oh, me either.
Yeah, you've just got good
I've
irrigation.
got irrigation and, wind blocks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so interesting. What does a week in the middle of spring look like for you at Quayle Cottage?
So I guess I kind of talked about this when I talked about managing my time.
Yeah.
But, I work 9 to 5 days a week. I also commute an hour each way for work, which is why I love podcasts so much and why we wanted to start a podcast, because I run out of things to listen to. So I commute both ways. So I don't have a lot of time in the mornings. I wish I was, I am a morning person, but I like to relax in the morning before I start getting ready. I wake up at 5:30, but I read for an hour before I could spend that time gardening, but no.
Oh, the life of someone without kids.
Sorry. Yes. And then I get home and do a garden walk usually.
Nice.
And see what's changed. Usually something has.
Yeah.
And either find a job to do, or especially if it's Wednesday night before the harvest. The harvest is our collection point with florists, which happens on Thursday mornings. So Wednesday night and some Tuesday nights, if I've got quite a lot of orders to cut, I'll start cutting on Tuesdays. Yeah, those are my harvest nights. And sometimes I've got florists that come and pick up from here on different days. So some days I'll have to cut on random days that I don't usually. And then on the weekends, that's when Sam and I, usually during the week one night, Sam and I will sit down and work out the jobs that we need to do. And often I'll already have, I sort of like to plan my seed starting and transplanting over winter and put those in my calendar in advance. I use a digital calendar, just Google Calendar, because then it's just always in my pocket. And so I'll look at what's already in the calendar for that weekend and then add to it, usually on a garden walk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll make Sam come on a garden walk with me so that we can see what needs doing that weekend. And yeah, we try and prioritise before the weekend comes, because I'm really bad at prioritising, especially in the moment, because I always want to just do the job that I want to do, not necessarily the job that makes most sense. Yeah. So if I plan what I'm going to do and the order I'm going to do it in before the day, it's a lot more helpful. But in spring, it will be a lot of weeding, seed sowing, transplanting. Yeah, those are the spring jobs.
And Sam sounds pretty involved in that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see yourself as the business being yours and a one-person business, or is it a partnership?
It's not technically a partnership like yours and Ian's is, but it definitely feels like one. He would say it feels like one.
Yes.
Or Sam. Sam's like the MVP of this business. He does all the jobs that I don't want to do. And he is very good with a shovel.
Yeah,
Goodness. Sam works in the mountain bike industry and he's always ridden bikes, and that means he was out in the bush playing with the dirt as a teenager, and still, as a nearly 30-year-old man, he's out in the bush building bike jumps with his mates. So he's very good at swinging off a shovel and moving dirt and mulch around.
Skill.
One of his very strange skills is packing dirt down with his feet. So, if we create a new plot in the paths, he can get them so compacted and flat and level. It's truly a sight to see.
Yeah,
so,
nice.
Transferable skills there. But, Sam is involved in the actual growing side of things. He does all the deliveries, basically, to florists. He does most of the photography. He will sit down with me and help me, well, not really help me go through the bookkeeping side, but keep me company, I suppose, so that I actually do it.
Yeah, nice.
Especially when we've got to reconcile. If we've got a lot of invoice, receipts and things we've got to reconcile, it feels like feels very overwhelming, and he'll sort of like
help you sort through it.
But yeah,
that's so
be my
great.
buddy through it.
That really sounds like, other than you getting to pick what you grow, because like Sam's involved in everything else.
Literally. Yeah.
That's fantastic.
And he even knows all the names of the flowers now.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's very impressive.
Do you ever see yourself hiring someone else in the business? Like, in terms of scale, do you think it would always just be the two of you?
Obviously, on an urban block, we will never need to hire someone. I'm a never say never kind of person. I mean, it depends on the scale. If it was like less than an acre or two that we were growing on, total like growing space, I don't think we would hire someone. I don't love managing people. I don't think anyone really loves managing people. Some people are better at it than other people, but I think it's a skill that you can develop if you need to. So I don't like to limit myself by saying
that you couldn't
that I couldn't do it, because I know that I could. And I am a natural leader, but I'm also quite controlling and bossy. So letting go of how I want things done a certain
when you
way.
Said you were a natural leader, I was going to say, you might notice that in the podcast, but then you followed up with bossy.
Yeah, you might notice that in the podcast. Oh dear, yes. I'm quite bossy. If I think there's a better way of doing something, I will often point it out to my detriment.
Yeah.
I won't go any further than that.
Fair.
But yeah.
What crops are you looking forward to the most?
I would have said corn cockle.
Oh, yeah, but we've just had a very wet week.
Yeah, they're like just
wet 3 months,
rotting
actually.
at the base. Very wet 3 months. The roots are just like disintegrating and the plants are just collapsing. So I would say pansies, getting the stems long enough. Some of the plants out there are surprisingly tall already. By this point last year, they were not nearly as tall as they are now, which is because I bought plugs. And I did buy plugs this year as well, but they were planted after the seed sown ones, the ones in the front yard that I'd say they're like nearly 30 centimetres, some of them. Yeah. And I'm really excited to see what comes of the sanguisorba now that it's going to be more established this year. So I've tried to shift my focus to having like 3 main crops per season that I have larger quantities of. And sanguisorba is, I talked about this in our like intro episode, but I feel like just in case you haven't listened to that, I should talk about sanguisorba a bit again. Yeah. It is a perennial. It's like a herbaceous perennial. It's not like a woody or a shrub. It's like it's a small plant, but it's a perennial. They get very tall though, and the stems are like skinny and wiry, but quite strong. And then the flower looks like mulberry on the end of the stem, like a burgundy colour. And they get more and more productive as the years go on. And I've dedicated 4 beds. I've got 50 plants now of sanguisorba, and the plants get really productive in their 3rd and 4th year. I spoke to a wholesale grower of sanguisorba who exports out of Japan. I found him in the comments of a Facebook post, and he was saying that sanguisorba, once they're established, can produce up to 60 stems per plant. So I'm really excited for ours to get nice and established. This is the 2nd year for some of ours, so it should be a good year.
Very exciting. Yeah, love a perennial. Now, can you tell us where the origin of your name comes from?
Yes. So Quayle Cottage, it's Quayle not as in the animal, but it's a surname. The people that built our house in the 1920s were Ted and Mary Quayle, and they used to have like an urban farm as well. So we thought it was kind of appropriate to name the property after them. And Quayle Cottage just rolls off the tongue.
Yeah, it's a great name.
Yeah.
And yeah, I feel like definitely it's getting known. People know you as that.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
People just call us Quayle most of the time.
That's true. And do you have any areas of flower farming that you're still working on? Any knowledge gaps you're trying to fill this season or to the future?
I've always got knowledge gaps that I'm trying to work on.
Yeah.
I love research and information, so I'm always going down rabbit holes with that sort of thing. But something I'm trying to improve on is restraint and reducing the amount of crops that we grow, especially because we're on a small space. It's a lot more productive, obviously, to grow something like more of less, especially when selling to florists. So I've narrowed it down a lot this year, but I still grow like a little bit more than 20 different crops.
Over the whole season?
Yeah, I suppose when you think of it like that, it's not as bad. But I'd like for it to be less than 20. Yeah, that's my goal.
Yeah, nice.
I don't know if I'll get there, but I hope to. Yeah.
What's on your chopping block?
Oh, that's the hard part.
Yeah. That is the hard part.
There's a few things that I would cut out, but they self-seed so prolifically that it's just like easy.
Yeah, we'll have to do an update at the end of the season.
Yeah,
when we're planning for next season, see what's been cut.
Yeah,
keep you accountable.
Queen Anne's lace, I would be happy to cut, but God, it comes back so prolifically and healthy, and I don't have to do a thing. Yeah. So, yeah, I've got a full bed of it.
Yes. I don't know if I have anything like that. I definitely have like things that I didn't plant that are still there. Actually, I picked some Linaria this week that I definitely didn't plant, but I was very happy to see it pop up.
That's good.
Yeah,
Feverfew is one that I I do pull it out. I should give you some seedlings.
Yes, you should. I have some gaps from horse tramplings.
Perfect. But yeah, there's nothing specifically on the chopping block that I...
Because feverfew is actually officially already being chopped, hasn't it? Like if you don't...
Yeah, no, I don't grow fever.
Not 120.
No.
Okay, I feel like we've kind of covered most of getting to know you. Hopefully you guys feel like you know who we are a bit and give you some context going forward. We're going to have more interviewing guests and talking about specific things, but yeah, hopefully now you've got some background to follow along.
Yeah.
And next week it's going to be us talking about how we choose the crops we grow.
So make sure you subscribe wherever you're listening so that our episodes drop in your feed, and follow along on Instagram where we share even more blooms behind the scenes, and if you're lucky we might even show you our weediest corners of our farms.